What's up guys, it's Talon here. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at how you can improve your solo cash cup performance by analyzing top EU pro Malibuca and how he broke the world record winning 6 games in the solo cash cup. But before I get into this video for you guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Also, if you wish to support me in another way, use code Talon.fm in the Fortnite item shop, #ad. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright guys, as you can see on the screen we have Malibuca's POV. This is going to be a VOD review of the world record performance. 6 wins in the first round of Solo Cash Cup. Never been done before and incredibly impressive in EU. We're only going to actually get to see 5 because the first game didn't record. But there is a ton of things to learn in this, how to be consistent in the Solo Cash Cup. So let's just jump right in. We're in a very stacked game early because as you can see he won his first game with 19 kills. So the best of EU were at Surge. I'm not exactly sure if he got that kill, but again, very, very fortunate. And this is going to be when Spider-Man was incredibly strong. Pre-80, I believe this was 40 at this point. One thing I always want to talk about with Spider-Man and when you have launch pads, most pros, what I've been seeing is launch pad first. Man, good confidence right here. I love how he does it psycho. He doesn't need to, right? This kind of also allows him to let him maximize Spider-Man. When you go, Spider-Man is so best if you wait till backside his zone and then you go. I like him planning his rotate where he's going to go. Look at all this clear space on the left side. It does get a little bit congested, so he just decides to give it up. But he gets to a much cleaner, fresher lair. Free elimination on an opponent on backside. Again, that's just, again, being aware, being smart. Now, this is one thing that is pretty annoying with Spider-Man is trying to get mats out of it. He does a good job of it here, but at times it can be incredibly frustrating. And one thing I will always say about Spider-Man, it is incredibly hard to use on lower level layers. Fortunately, he gets a lot of clear space, so he's able to get up pretty well, even though he gets shot. And he hasn't used a lot of mats because he used that pad first. Yeah, trees, we got to be aware of those as well, right? When you have those broken trees, that can damage the builds. Now, a refresh just kind of falls into his box as well. But just be aware you can't build around those. You want to avoid those as much as possible. Also, the rocks in Rocky Reels have that same effect for some reason now. But again, as you see, congestion and Spider-Man are not... You want to get to much clearer layers. And he goes here for height. He goes, nah, I don't want it. I feel like the reason why he didn't want it, he didn't get it cleaned. So backs off. But he's on a much more clear layer now, right? He's not in all that congestion on low ground. Does a fantastic job of chopping him out, griefing him later, maybe setting up for retake later. Like, you think, why didn't he go for height right there? And I think the main reason is he's setting it up for later. Or with him having so many Spider-Mans, he probably wants to play ahead more, and you see that right there. Person just gets in. Now, I think it's fortunate in that situation that that guy is nearly 1 HP. I feel like in any other situation, if that opponent was just way healthier, he dies there. And this is, again, oh, this is 80, so this is when Spider-Man was incredibly strong. But again, the principles and usage of it do not change. Going from back to front, always constantly the best way. And look, that's another thing that Spider-Man can kind of set you up for. Everyone rotating, if you get ahead and you're sitting there waiting, get a lot of refreshes that come right to you. You're not having to do a lot of work. There's another one sitting on front side. Good drop. Look at all this clean space he's finding. And it's because he's, again, hugging side to side. And just being very aware where the storm is. Now he's looking for high ground. And again, same thing. He doesn't feel like he can hold it. Why? Because he only has 20-ish builds. But him getting ahead right here is going to net him essentially just 2 bodies worth of siphon mats, one would have to assume. So a good 500 builds. Reloads before he goes as well. I like him getting back up here. Doesn't need to force anything. Moving cleanly now. Got to be aware with him being in wood, he's going to probably get pressured. So I like the drop down there. Now he gets ahead, creates a lot of space. He's got to get an impact here, right? He has 4 builds. Good job of pressure right here. Wins the aim duel. Gets everything, which isn't a lot. Oh my goodness, mechanically that's so incredibly crazy. These shots from low ground are nuts too. There's mini games, I think there's at least 2 that he shouldn't have won. This is being a perfect example of one. Look at where he predicts where the guy's going to be. Oh my goodness, the guy overpeaks and he takes advantage. What an incredible job. And we just saw the layer switching, and you can see kind of with Spider-Man, it's much better to be on those higher level layers that you can actually use it. Now again, we're going to get a very stacked game. He's got the Mythic AR, not even carrying a shotgun. Obviously prioritizing Spider-Man and the spray meta. This is also pre-MK7 nerf. And he gets a kill in Storm in here, and he's going to actually pick up this kill as well eventually as this opponent's kind of rotating on dead side. He's going to get it right here. Now right there, beautiful. And that's a free 2 elimination, set him up for Surge. Now this is something I kind of always just kind of advise against, but 5th stone refreshes are your best friend. I do say that all the time, but I don't think he truly needed it, but he just caught it off guard well. He's trying to get this guy off the loot. He's already switched his Spider-Man. He's set up. He has everything he could possibly need. He has a ton of space already down here below. He's got a good pool. He can sit here, wait, and then use Spider-Man after he gets this big off. Looking, backside, briefing anybody he sees, creates that extra box. And again, on a much dead side, look at all this clear space. And Spider-Man can get you out of some really bad situations positionally as well in endgame. You could switch layers really, really easily. But you see him being just patient, looking for picks. He's got the Mythic AR. He's going to absolutely fry or laser anybody. He sits here, wait till zone's on his back. What does he do? Oh, I'm right in. I don't have to do anything else. Look, I'm 4-4-2. And so this is, again, where you come through the decision. Okay, he has to realize he has more mats than anyone in the lobby. He goes, okay, you're sitting on 2 wood. I'm taking height from you. And what does he do? Does a nice little spider wombo combo. Gets it up, takes height. And you're going to see this. He doesn't relinquish height the entire time. And I'm going to explain why. I think this is one of the most important things. We kind of saw in the last VOD review how to play low ground. This is a textbook example of how to play high ground. Kind of the exact opposite. You're going to see him constantly. Anybody that's even near him, he's just going to pressure. He's going to constantly be ahead. You see him constantly building ahead, worrying about that more than anything. Letting things build. So he's getting on more structured builds, and what I mean more structure is like they've had more time to build, so they're going to take less damage, or take more damage when they're being shot at. Anybody that's close to him, especially in hard mats, is getting sprayed. Look, build, build, build. I'm going to get way ahead. I'm going to look back. Anybody that can threaten my high ground, I'm just going to spray. I'm just going to pressure. And this doesn't even result in getting any kills. And this is what I think can get a lot of players in trouble, is like, oh, I've got to get kills. I have high ground. I got to get kills. I got high ground. This is the easiest way to clutch out points. Do you see how little mats he's using by doing this? He's just single tarping. He's using single cones to get ahead. Basically, get ahead, single cone. Saves him a lot of mats. Anybody that's challenging for high ground is going to get pressured off. It's exactly what happens, right? No one's even challenging him. He gets up a layer, builds ahead. I'm looking back. Any opportunities, if I get a kill, great. If not, my job is to grief the whole lobby, make sure that I have more mats than everyone else, that everyone else fights each other. I get these easy placement points. And you're going to just see them do it. He doesn't leave this position. I'm talking about from the time that he took it to the time the game ends. He has the easiest win. I can remember it a long time. This had to be the least stressful win I've ever seen. But he has tons of, don't worry though, he has tons of other stressful ones like that first game. Look, anybody he sees, he's pressuring off. He's still gotten 0 kills. And in solos, that doesn't matter. Now, in trios, when you had the high ground, you really had to do a good job of maximizing those kills. There was such a power position of getting teams. In solos, it doesn't matter. With how many points there are for placement, you're going to take just milking this amount of time. And he's at such an elevated layer that no one is able to challenge him, really. Like, the only thing he has to really be just truly concerned about is Spider-Man. And he's smartly just, what does he do? Make sure no one can go behind him. He breaks the builds. So, okay, this guy's close to him in wood. He marks zone 2. Just textbook stuff. Pressures you. You're close to my high ground. And you see, he's just staying at the very front side now. And he sees that opponent get finished, and he just times it perfectly, and he gets a nice little refresh to match. Finally getting the first kill with 6 individuals left, and he reconnects. But again, it's not about fragging out getting the top kills. It's just maximizing the position given. As you see here, he's just kind of slowly, methodically building down, making sure he's secured. I don't think he meant to fall down there. But an easy, quick get up. No panic. He's making sure he's using hard instead of wood. He doesn't want to get pressured down. Now he gets a kill onto FNCS champion Queasy. Now he gets cracked here for a little bit. And I think it's from a Spider-Man. I'm not exactly sure because it's really strange what ends up happening here. That was the only part of the VOD review I was like, huh? Yeah, but I do believe it was a Spider-Man challenge him. And finally someone does challenge him with Spider-Man, but he ends up getting shot out. I'm pretty sure. Yep. He just ends up dying to storm damage. And then he ends up just knocking the last guy. And if you want to talk about a textbook way to hold high ground, there it is. He held it, I believe, from 7th all the way through 9th. He only got essentially one true actual... he got 2 refreshes, but he didn't even really need them. Just picking up on guys that are incredibly weak or spraying down. And that's just a textbook way to hold high ground. Especially in a meta where high ground isn't that powerful. Really impressive stuff. On to the next one now. Get a nice little full chop here. Oh, we get white tags. We're going to pressure. I like this jump from right here. Gets a nice little jump. I don't know what that opponent was really doing. Not healing, not using his mats. He probably knew it was already over. And that kill, very important. Only 122 above surge. I'm sure a lot of it came from that kill. Look at this back to front instantly. So good for getting front side to back side. Goes, okay, I'm going to get in. Does a really good job right there at capitalizing. Now this is where it gets scary. The opponent fortunately doesn't psycho him for it, and he's able to get out. He goes, okay, I'm going to get away now. What do I say again? It's very uncomfortable on low ground here for Spider-Man, in my opinion. There's so many better ways you can use it, but you're going to see, again, okay, last game I play high ground. Okay, this game, I don't need to play high ground to win. I'm going to maximize what I have. Now, I believe this is one of the games he actually does not win, though. But you're going to see him still get a high placement. Look at this, staying ahead, staying on a dead side of zone. I mean, there's no one a mile within him. He doesn't have to worry about a single soul. He's doing such a fantastic job of staying ahead. Good layer switch even, recognizing, hey, it's going to be scuffed if I sit here just trying to stay build. I probably can't crouch underneath that, so let me just elevate a little bit. And he's on such a clear layer, he actually has no refresh opportunities really other than that opponent. But he doesn't even have to worry about it at this point. He still has enough to get in, cover my head, staying on dead side. This is really good recognition. We saw Snacky do this. Okay, you pressure my wall on low ground. Okay, I know it's going to make you stop. I throw an armored wall up. Snacky was a master of this when I body reviewed Snacky. And Malibuca is going to do a great job of it here. Look at this. Same thing. Oh, you're going to pressure me? Nope. No, you're not. Now, 15 builds, not the best, but he's milked a top 25 placement. But guess what? He still has Spider-Man. By the way that he's... And you can see, like, how powerful Spider-Man is. This is one of the few times we've seen him just shambles on mats. We end up finding, like, 300 brick. Now, that's a little bit fortunate. You know, we see a good use of the Spider-Man to get some siphon mats. We don't even maximize the shield K. Pressure this opponent off. Conserve tarp. Good clear layer. We're going to look backside here. This is such a good angle, too. And again, this is what getting ahead can get you. Even though it didn't result in a refresh, the mentality was correct. Get an important pickup right there. He's doing a good job of getting all of those materials as well. Gets just enough. And him hugging that side again is benefiting him. He's not having to use as much mats as his opponents that are towards the middle. Now Spider-Man again. And we're in a flawless layer right here. Actually, this is the game that I believe he ends up winning. Opponent on his wall. And this is why most pros in that situation always place a cone in their box. Now, it might have been a little bit awkward because he was on the most ultimate low layer to do that, but that'll prevent that ramp from getting just thrown into his box. Doing a good job cutting off. Free play. Now 9 HP, just cool and calm as a cucumber right here. And then uses his last armored walls. Really smart. Realize, oh, I can't go for that. I have to go to zone. I can't take even one lick of damage. You're going to see him time this perfectly. You see that wall is 1 HP? He just gets in cracked. Doesn't just willy-nilly spring the stinger. Realizes he needed to get that chip damage. Lets that opponent get pressured. Take all the damage. Free kill. Now look at the mats. We're sitting at so many mats. 600 mats. And so we're going to use them all right. We're going to just kind of block off everything that we can. Go for a mini. We're going to get double dink. That's okay, though. We still have more mats. We can play ahead. I was surprised the opponent didn't pressure as much. And you're going to see, oh, I want to get certain things. I want minis. I want bigs. And he uses it really, really well. One of the better uses I've seen people with Spider-Man. He wanted that big. It's exactly what he got, and it's going to get him off. Right here. Boom. How he navigated this layer is beyond me. This layer is so incredibly scuffed. He's using this stinger to retake everything. How he got over that car, that was crazy. In a very tight 9th zone. Has nothing for heal off, so he's got to go for it. Recognize where the opponent's going to be. 33. And then wow, incredible job. He just times it perfectly. Knew exactly what the opponent was going to do. This was really, really good. He sees the opponent drop it, cone him off. Timed it perfectly, 33. Go up from a nice angle. Opponent's going to go for a wall take. The opponent's going to die to zone more than likely. Already taken some chip damage. And another free elimination. And free Victor Royale. Oh man, the piecery is so good. 555 doesn't really need the refresh, but confidence. And now we're in endgame again. Good, smart. Again, always look up before you pad. Such a little minor thing until you get to the point now. That person flies in your box. Good recognition to get out. Doesn't need it, right? Nearly sitting sitting over 1,000 mats. Doesn't need to force anything. Such a little thing. You're going to be pissed off if you're in a tournament and you don't look up and you smack your head on your pad. And scuff your whole rotate. This is what I see right here. Look, peeping for his rotate. Where do I need to go? What can I do? Let me just see some of the best players do. Plan their rotations out. That's exactly what he's doing. He's looking, where can I Spider-Man to? Alright, I'm going to get ahead. I'm going to look back. Now he gets the guy 1 HP. Realizes, wow, that was really good recognition. I didn't even realize that. Then he just leaves it alone. He doesn't full cycle it. He doesn't need to, right? He's 3-1-1. And he's got Spider-Man. There's not much he has to worry about. He gets the front side to back. And one thing I think that's really crucial in this particular game, he needs to stay on these upper layers. And again, doesn't need it. Still has enough mats to get in. Still has Spider-Man. It's because you being in the water, you have to use so much more mats to make sure you're kind of reconnected and stable. He's doing a great job of just finding a clear layer. Not going on that opponent's layer. He's going one down below. Free elimination back. Now, I think this is the one time where Spider-Man, yep, he just kind of overstretched with a Spider-Man who doesn't get it. But most of the time, he's actually been getting at least mats or shield or utility off of it. And then sits, waits to backside again. Good, nice clean layer. Doesn't go right up to the opponent. He goes one layer below. He gets in perfectly here. Recognizes he sets up the Metro Classic for this perfectly. Finally gets in, and another kill on to Podesai. Going to be a good amount. You see here again, zone on his back. Just kind of slowly playing it in. Now, I think he goes for height here because he just got the refresh, and I think that just, unfortunately... he does get it, actually. Sorry. Oh, someone Spider-Man up. That's kind of what kind of just ruins it for him. He made the correct decision in his mind, right? He had 600 mats going into 9th. Just gotten a refresh. That's just a consistent cue to go take. Now, you're going to see this guy and him build battle out. 15 kills. He's going to go for it. He's already committed. Opponent's weak. Drops him down. He's going to take a little bit of fall. 54. Now he's got to be very careful with his shot. And he hits it. Good jump away, right? I'm not even going to talk about it. This is such a minor thing, but look. Look how he's jumping backwards, right, to minimize the damage, because this is going to be a trade. This opponent's ready for this. And he does, you see, eat a little bit of damage, but because he's jumping backwards, he's minimizing any return. He hit the opponent for 7. The opponent was incredibly weak, and he capitalizes, gets another important refresh, and he's able to take high ground. And this is more traditional. Play mid, play mid, play mid, and then high ground retake. Now, something I'm always going to see when pros is you see someone trying to fly around, take height, he shoots him out. So kind of, again, just good recognition, staving off pressure. And he gets a free kill because he got a little bit of it. And then you see a good job if you're pickpocketing, but you see it's not going to matter. He lets the 2 fight. That's what I'm always going to say. If you're in the 1v1v1 and you are on high ground, let those other 2 fight and come down and clean up. And that's exactly what I see 99.9% of the time. There's been very few times in just games that I've bought where that is not the case. And you see it again here. So great stuff from Malibuca. He's probably got to know, yes, this is an automatic qual with how many games he's already won. Now we're fighting here at gas station. And I can't remember if this is the person who I think it is. But he's fighting, I believe, a very well-known player. Yes, cracks him. Savage. Off spawn. Gets the kill. Now he sees the opponent going back to his old builds. Now that was a little scuffed, unfortunately. Opponent scuffed. Good recognition that he's trying to take out the wall. Piece cracked. He's got to feel much more confident going against the auto. He has wall and everything. And with him having a purple shot, he got to feel confident. Baiting this is here as well right here. And this is essentially going to be a 5th zone refresh going in. Spider-Man, it doesn't matter where you go. And we already got 4 kills, so he's set for surge. He doesn't have to worry about anything. Layer control right here. You're on my layer. I want to get you lobbied. You're building in wood. I want other people to join in me spraying you. That's exactly what's happening. And again, we're already on backside, so we sit. We're going to look. We have a clear lane to go. We're going to avoid that congestion. We're going to get back to our old builds here. So we don't have to worry about using any extra mats. We're sitting super healthy. 5-4-3 essentially. We're looking for everybody coming back. Now he nearly gets it. Just got the piece control a little too late. Now he gets dropped down here. A little bit scary, but good recovery. And then zones at his back, and it's just going to be the, rinse, wash, and repeat. Backside to front side, backside to front side. I sit here and I wait. I pressure people that I see that are low, on my layer. I'm in hard mats. I've got 2 boxes. I got a lot of space to work with. And you see here, he's going to catch someone out on low ground right here. He doesn't truly full send it until about here. Boom, free. And we're on that dead side. Look how no one is. No one is even remotely near. Getting pressured off. Now he doesn't have armored walls this time. But I love that little ramp just staving off that pressure. 5-1-2. Still a lot to work with. He cones this guy off, which is incredible. He does. His aim just not being his best friend. But he doesn't force anything. He just used it to retake the wall. Still with having 800 mats. No need to force anything, right? There's no need to chase that at that low HP. Just get your heals off. Live to fight another day. You still have rotation. You still have mats. Still always looking for those picks, though. He tried to make the edit. He realized he scuffed it mechanically, and he just stopped. Doesn't have to force anything. Now, someone just comes into his box. It's actually pro player Raffalo, become legends. And then back to front again. Just rinse, wash, and repeat. I like the ramp there instead of the cone. It's more protected. Also because he's on a left-hand peak command situation. Pressure that guy off your lair. Get clear space. I believe he goes for a high take here. This is going to be one of the few games he doesn't win, and it's just unfortunate. I believe someone else at the same exact time comes up on him. Yep, he's going to go for it right here, and he's going to crack the opponent for 100. Nearly cones him off. And he gets fried from down below while he's in the midst of that take. It's going to be really harmful to his mats as well. He used about 340, and he's going to get constant pressure from the low ground. Now we're only sitting at 20 builds. We haven't got our minis off, and we just get 200 to 0. That was just super unfortunate. I think a good play again. Execution is great. You know, hit him for 100. He just got pressure from the bottom. Not too much you can do. Now, about that early off-spawn fight again, just taking advantage. Now, this is just being calm amongst the storm. He gets absolutely fried here. 43 HP. You're going to see him just absolutely work this kid. So for 38, gets that rampant. It's pretty laggy, it looks like, as well. Gained a good amount of HP, so he's got to feel confident. Now, opponent takes the wall first try. That is so difficult to do if you're not a low ping player holding a ramp while they pressure. Opponent jumps right on the wall. That's the mistake. Cracks through, good damage. Now the opponent's in a super scuffed area. Can't build a floor. It's a free elimination. And just calm. That's just pure calmness. In a very stressful moment, pure calmness, and he just waits and waits and waits and waits. Also fortunate in that situation, he had a shield keg. He pops it off immediately. Incredibly strong item. Again, looking on backside, gets a free kill. Same thing here, zones at his back. It's time to use Spider-Man to go all the way up. Get to a nice clean lair. Looking back for anybody that's stuck in a very precarious situation there on low ground. Again, we got a nice pull. So we're going to sit there and look back. Yep, we get one. Why not? Let's go get those mats. We have Spider-Man. It does not matter. Our position does not matter. Get the Spider-Man. Get to clear free space. Get to a side. He's got med miss. Again, not being afraid to tank. Now, instead of going up and getting position forward, he gets good position to the side. That's less congested, as opposed to worried about getting ahead. Again, because he can go anywhere. He wants to position himself where he's not going to have to deal with any other opponents, anything with bad layers. Again, notice, instead of not going up on that opponent's layer, he goes one down below. Even though we haven't gotten in, we still have a healthy amount of mats, about 800 to play with. Actually, we're closer to 900. And we're sitting here waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting, we're looking for any opportunity. Zone's almost zero. Okay, let's go forward to back. Now, I don't believe he meant to go to the low ground here, but, you know, sometimes things happen. Nearly gets a pick looking back. Unfortunately, doesn't pick it up. And then gets a little bit of the mats. Now, fortunately, that two people just are right there. Decides to not even go for it. Instead of breaking through, what does he do? He just goes through his edit. Now this is, again, the one time we kind of see him, when you're on that low ground, that Spider-Man's not as effective. And you see that here again, kind of being a detriment. And he's getting a little bit more pressure this round than he has in the previous ones. But now we're on a much cleaner layer. That's why Spider-Man is just so broken. You can just flip whatever layer you need to. Sit back and look here for kills. Person just walks in, only hits him for 52. This is beautiful. Resets, times it perfectly. Oh my god, that was absolutely disgusting. Now he only gets siphon mats, but just absolutely works that opponent in a super stressful situation. Again, just calm underneath the storm. Resets, catches him off guard. The opponent shoots through. He pre-fires it, hits a big damage pump shot. And now we're back to front. Now we have to be a little bit worried. We're in wood here on a decently high layer. May get pressured. That's exactly what happens. So that's why you drop, right? You have to be aware of these things. That you're on wood on a mid-ground layer. In this meta, that means spray it out. You know, wood is just, it's going to bleed through a ton. Now this is an incredible clutch right here. He sits there on top of the drill bit. And gets a nice little shot here. Now we're almost out of mats. But again, med mist. He's proving the low ground. He can play heel off. He can play high ground. He can play low ground. He can do it all. You know, he's got so many tools in his tool basket that he's he's able to do anything. Now this is going to be incredible. He's on fire. He's sitting up in zone. He goes, okay, I got to get my med miss off. I'm going to get all these heals. I'm going to do a little bit of med miss, make sure I don't die. Now I know I got to be stuck in storm. I got to take a little bit off. You know, use it as much as I can. Sit here and back. Essentially just stagnate. Cracks this opponent's shield. No HP. 10. Hits a nasty shot onto Cammy. Now how he wins this, I have no idea. Cracks for 27. Pre-fires 103 Tufu Classics. And there you have it. The most impressive game or solo cash cup in the history of Fortnite. We've never seen anything like it. 6 wins in 8 attempts. 258 points. Winning the cash cup by a whopping 65. An incredible performance from Malibuca. And what we saw is many ways to win. We saw the low ground. We saw the high ground, how to hold and take high ground. We saw the clutch factor of just knowing how to play heal off, when to go for that. We saw so many different ways. We saw the knowledge with Spider-Man. Wait to backside and go ahead. It's just everything is there in terms of a game sense perspective, and you can blueprint and work on these things into your gameplay to improve. But guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.